Welcome to Millennials on the Move, where each and every week I feature a new millennial that is doing amazing things in the community, starting a nonprofit organization, writing books, starting their own businesses. And this week's millennial is Michael McLean.
How you guys doing today?
So before we get into why we are here with this millennial, I want him to express himself. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Michael.
Well, to start off, my name is Michael. I'm 27. I'm a new author. I just published my first book a couple months ago. The name of the book is The Egg. I am building a brand along with my cousin by the name of Raw Melanin, and we will be dropping our first collection this summer. A little about myself. Well, my favorite color is navy blue. My favorite artist is, I have a lot of favorite artists. Nas, Sade, Mos Def, Lauryn Hill, I could keep going on. And my favorite movie will probably be The Wood, and my favorite poet is King Jasmine Mans. I call her King Jasmine Mans, but her name is Jasmine Mans. I love her.
Okay. You said that you are a new author.
Correct.
Of the book called The Egg. So I just want to start with the title.
Okay.
Where did you get that from? What does that mean?
Well, at first, it started off as just a quote, and the quote was, sometimes, I'm just going to paraphrase it.
Okay.
Over time, we create this hard shell from things we go through.
Okay.
And for us to become humane again, that egg must be cracked, because just like an egg, it's not useful unless we crack it. So that's how I came up with the concept.
Oh, that's what's up. Okay. So it's safe to say that this is more so for people who have created those hard shells.
Correct.
Who need time to basically get through those tough times. Be happy, be motivated, reading your book, and just what was your purpose for this book for people to read? What did you want them to get out of it?
You just touched on it, but it also it reassures people that already have cracked their egg and they already know that they're vulnerable.
Right.
I could say that.
Right.
And yeah.
Cool. Okay. Well, self-explanatory, right to the point. So, your inspiration behind writing the book, how long did it take you to write it? And when did you start? Was this something that you thought about years ago, or is it something that just kind of came to you?
It was very recent, to be honest. It started out just me writing, like just writing little quotes,
right,
little gems, or what
right,
we call them. And my cousin was saying, "Oh, you should put together a little book you could put on the coffee table or whatever." And nothing big, nothing too long. And I was like, yeah, I'll think about it, but I never took it seriously.
Right.
So I was posting a few of my poems on the internet, and one of my friends that lives in Texas, she was always continually telling me I don't need to keep putting my stuff on the internet because people will steal my work.
Yeah.
So she was like, you need to publish your stuff.
Right.
And I was like, okay, that sounds like something
I need to do. Right.
Yeah. And over time, it was more like I don't really care. But then it was like, Arthur actually, she published the book, and I read it, and I actually went and questioned her about publishing books, and after that I knew that was possible. So I said, you know what, I need to do this.
Right.
And I ended up publishing my own book. It's self-published.
Self-published.
Yes.
Wow. So you had the idea.
Correct.
You thought it was great, but it wasn't something that you wanted to really like put in stone. Like, oh yeah, I hear y'all.
Yeah.
But it wasn't until someone said, someone can steal your work.
Yeah.
It's when it clicks. Because I don't know. So definitely, I just think that's amazing. One thing that I learned about millennials doing these interviews is they always have great ideas, and it always comes from something that they love doing.
Yes.
And it takes someone to say something to trigger, I need to take this seriously. And then we get on it,
And sometimes we need that extra push.
Yeah, definitely. So, self-publishing, was that hard?
The hardest part about self-publishing is having the patience to go through it. You think you could just go and just give them your work and it will just happen, but you have to take steps. Sometimes you'll turn your work in and then they'll send it back, and then you have to start, not really start all over, but then you have to fix the problems and then send it back again.
Right.
It's all about being patient. Because there's many times where I was like, man, I'm not going to do this.
Right.
But, you know, I sat down, I was like, I need to do this. I was like, I can't just push anything out there because I'm a perfectionist, so I need everything good to a T. And
were there any forces when you were writing your book? Anything that stood out to you the most that you really just was like, you know what, this is what I'm doing, and this is what was your purpose for doing, like, writing this book, other than no one else having your work, or, you know what I'm trying to say, like, what was the driving
force? I think
force?
it was many people can't express themselves through word, and it's hard for them to put things into word form. And as a child and growing up, I was always good with metaphors and parables and things like that, and I could always take a meaning of something and put it in word form. So when people can't express themselves, I feel like the things I write, I'm speaking for them because they can't explain it themselves. Because a lot of people say, oh, I don't know how to express my feelings. But the way that I write, I'm expressing it for them.
Deep. So you're like the voice of the people.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's talk about successes. What was the success other than self-publishing? I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory, but what was one of the greatest successes you had in this process of writing this book?
Just people actually reading it. Because a lot of times you'll do something and people say, yeah, I'll support you. They'll buy something, but they probably won't. If you're selling clothes, they'll buy your clothes just to support you, but they probably won't wear it. Or you publish a book.
So halfway support.
Yeah, halfway support. But people have actually bought it and actually read it, taken notes, responded back to me, asking me how did I go through the process. They question me, like, you know, it's motivational to a lot of people. So that I think that was the greatest success, that people actually read it and actually helped them.
Let's talk about struggles, like challenges you had throughout writing this book and the process of it.
Well, believe it or not, my grammar is terrible. I have terrible grammar. So going through the self-publishing process, I had to get an editor, but I didn't want to pay anyone, so I got a friend to edit it, a few friends. And you know, they're not professional editors, but you know, there's still mistakes. And I feel like that was the one thing that was like, you know, like, do I really want to do this? But it was like, I still have to do this, you know? I still ended up publishing the book.
So do you think next time around you're going to hire an editor?
Most likely, yeah, because I want my next book to be better than the first one.
Learning. Okay. So let's get personal. Let's talk about you. Let's get a little vulnerable right now.
Okay.
Are you open to that?
Yeah.
Just so that people can feel the humane side of you, because you're pretty much the S word. I don't really want to curse, but you self-published a book. That is a great accomplishment.
Yeah.
So what do you personally, Michael McLean, what do you struggle with in life? What is something that is like a flaw of yours, something that you are trying to overcome throughout everything?
I think I don't know if this will sound arrogant, but I don't think that I know how much I've done. Like, I don't think I know how great of a accomplishment this is.
So you don't give yourself credit?
I don't give myself credit sometimes. I'm not really great at everything, but I'm good enough. But I need to realize that my writing is actually wonderful.
Understanding your worth and accepting your greatness for being great, and I think overcritical and perfectionism kind of like plays a role in that as well, because you did state that you were a perfectionist. Most perfectionists feel like, yeah, I could have did better though. I could have did better though. I could have did better though. So, yeah. So solution based. We have to figure out a way that we're going to get through that. So last thing, what motivates you to move forward with your artistry?
I think how the response that I get from this book is that it's great. I haven't got any negative responses yet. It's kind of surprising.
Right.
I think what pushes me forward is creating another book that's better.
Mm.
So it's like I don't want to fall short
Right.
of this. So it's
Right.
like I set that mark. Now I have to get over that mark
Right.
to continue. You know,
Right.
and that's what pushes me. Like there's no days off. You know.
Okay. So that I said that was the last question, but not this. So can you walk us through what it's like when you're writing? What's your process? Do you have to be in a room by yourself? Do the lights have to be dimmed? Like, do you have to set the tone for? Yeah, you have to set the tone for yourself.
Like I said earlier, I'm not actually a writer, so I can't sit down and write. Like I have a hard time doing that.
Right.
So throughout the day, I just write little things down. I keep a lot of stuff in my head.
Right.
So I could come up with a whole poem in my head and not write it down till the day after. And I write it down, and then little things I'll take away from it, I'll add. I won't just be settled with it. So
right.
It takes time. Like I'll go back and like, no, that doesn't make any sense. Turn it around, flip it up, you know.
Right.
But it's a everyday process. Like I'll be at work and something will come, a metaphor will come to my head, and I need to write it down before I forget it.
Right.
And I'll do that, and then after a while, I have so much built up. I use my iPhone. You know?
No, yeah, legit technology.
It's
really helpful.
notepad. So
Yeah.
I'll just go through it. I'll say, okay, this will work for this poem. I just add in, you know.
Okay. Well, that was great. Great interview. I really appreciate you coming and just giving us your time and your space.
No problem.
And giving us this to the world. This is his mark. This is the beginning of his mark. So if you want a copy of it, after this, he's going to give you a link. He's going to give you an email. You can contact him to get more information about Raw Melanin, which is the code line that he is coming out with. So stay tuned for the end of the video to get all that information from this great millennial. Thank you so much for being here with us. And I'll see you next time.
How y'all doing? It's Michael McLean. You can follow me at Mars Blackman 101 and at my other page, raw_melanin. Check the page out. On both pages, I have a link to my book. The book is only $12. $12. It should be more, but it's only $12. Check it out, man.